Good evening, everyone. Today, I'd like to talk about the weight loss benefits of tea. You know, that's a common trope in the tea marketing. You should buy tea, and then when you will start drinking tea, your fat will melt away from your body. So, is there any fact to it? And I can speak now from personal experience because you know that I've been in Europe for the last 6 months, and I also enjoy cooking. And when I got back to Europe, I spent most of my time in France, and you know that in France you get a lot of great ingredients. So I started using a lot of cream and melted butter, or chicken with coconut milk and curry. That's delicious. You know, you get that great mouthfeel. And I never thought about the food quality before. I was always a little bit skinny, so I was never really limited by food, or I never had to take care of this. And after 6 months in France, I realized that I got quite fat, at least to my standard. I have kind of a start of a beer belly, and I don't like that. So now I'm on a diet. So I've checked a little bit about how to lose weight and everything, and it seems that it's actually much more simple than many people want to make it. You consume energy every day, and the goal, in order to lose weight, you have to take less energy than you spend. So you will have a calorie deficit, a deficit in energy, so you consume more than what you eat, and in the long run, you will lose weight. And it takes quite some time, because like 1 kilogram of fat is 9,000 calories. So let's say if every day you eat 600 calories less than what you consume, it will take you like 2 weeks to lose 1 kilogram of fat. The other advantage is that it takes quite some time to put on fat, and that's the problem. It's kind of creeping on you. I didn't really realize that, but in the past months, I've been maybe every day taking more calories than I would consume. Okay? So I have to do this now. I'm on a diet, and I started really counting, asking ChatGPT, like taking a picture of my plate and how many calories is this and that. And really I figured, wow, it's incredible how many calories fat has. And the fact that I was drenching everything in oil and making those fancy sauces, it really adds up on the calories. And there's one thing that I consume a lot and which doesn't have any calories, and that's tea, thankfully. So now I'm kind of not really allowed to consume a lot of fat, and I have to focus mainly on the fibers and high protein content, because the protein may make you feel not hungry, and try to consume as few calories as possible. And you know where a lot of calories are? They are actually in the alcohol. So I'm not allowed like to drink wine or whiskey anymore, because alcohol has lots of calories, and they are also like products that we really enjoy tasting. And then also I'm not allowed to drink sodas. I didn't drink much before, but I'm thinking a lot of people who have those weight issues are actually into drinking sodas, or even orange juice or smoothie, even things that appear healthy but which have a lot of calories. And I'm thinking, wow, it's cool that I like tea, because it's not a big problem for me to drink only tea and nothing else. And that's really big bonus when you're counting the calories. Now, the other thing that I'm missing a bit is all that greasy feel, those nice sauce that you make, which are very creamy, and which I cannot take now because they really have a lot of calories in them. But then I was thinking about oolong tea. Do you remember like the first time you had that Taiwanese high mountain oolong, and you get that really buttery feel? It really feels like drinking cream or butter. And so I'm thinking, okay, if I really miss this kind of fat food, I can just have that type of tea. And then if I want to have that thick mouthfeel like a good Belgian beer, I can have a good rye pour. Some rye pours, they have that very thick also a bit creamy, but in a different way than oolong, creamy mouthfeel. And if I want sweetness, I've never been really fond of like soda sweetness, but a lot of people are a bit addicted to it. And if you have a fine like Iwu pu'er tea, you will find that the sweetness it gives is even more complex, much more satisfying than the sweetness you get in soda, or even the sweetness you get in alternatives like Diet Coke or things with stevia in it. And so what I figured is, actually it's kind of true. Tea can be a very useful tool if you want to lose weight, because I figured that you cannot be allowed to be hungry, right? So what I do now if I'm hungry is I eat salad or I eat raw carrots, because these things have almost no calories and they almost fill you up. But if I'm missing a particular taste in food, maybe I can find an alternative in tea. Tea is a good distraction from your kind of psychological hunger. You know, it's cool eating carrots, but maybe it doesn't taste as good as a bœuf bourguignon or these kind of things. Although, of course, you can always use good spices and things. But if you're into the mouthfeel, really, tea is very satisfying and very diverse. Actually, if you think about it, tea has a much larger diversity of tastes than coffee. And like apart from water, it's about the only like 0-calorie beverage that you can get, which has such a large diversity of tastes. So I used to think that all that marketing about weight loss was bullshit, but now that I'm on a diet, I realize that enjoying tea really makes this diet much easier, because I don't feel like I'm really being deprived of good moments, good tasting moments, despite not being able to drink anymore like wines or whiskey. So in that way, tea is my savior, I would say. Now I'm enjoying that kind of oriental beauty, like it was rolled in balls. It comes from the north of Yunnan, so it's like it's an oolong cultivar. It's Qingxing oolong, but I think it was bug bitten. And this tea has a lot of umami and is a little fat, you know, a little like soy sauce with a bit of fat in it. And so when I'm missing a bit of those rich food that I took in the past, I just think now about what kind of tea I could take to complement, to make me happy. And so if you're on a diet like me, well, I wish you luck, and I hope together, thanks to tea, we will be able to to go through this thing. Yeah, that's about it for today. So actually now I've changed my mind. I thought like tea doesn't help you lose weight, but it's actually a very helpful psychological tool. And also what I'd recommend is to keep it simple. Everything is just about the calories. There's no miracle product that will make you lose weight. You just have to keep that calorie deficit. And for that, you figure that there is food which has a lot of proteins, which make you feel very filled, and which doesn't have a lot of calories. And then for all the tasty things, you can rely on tea. So yeah, I just wanted to share that for today. Thank you for watching, and have a good evening. Bye bye.